let's take a closer look at the silent emotional evolution of older men and why emotional intimacy becomes more valuable to them than ever before. Chapter 1: The Emotional Landscape of Youth versus Old Age. In younger years, men are often taught, directly or indirectly, to suppress emotions. Societal pressures label vulnerability as weakness. Phrases like "man up," "be tough," or "boys don't cry" condition them to prioritize strength over sensitivity. Emotional needs are often buried beneath layers of pride, ego, or fear of judgment. However, as men mature, life experiences, such as parenthood, career changes, health challenges, or the loss of loved ones, gradually peel back those layers. They begin to reevaluate what truly matters. This stage of life often leads to a profound realization. Emotional connection and intimacy are not weaknesses, but essential components of a fulfilling life. For many older men, this is the beginning of a quiet awakening, a shift from external validation to internal peace. And at the heart of that peace lies emotional closeness. Chapter 2: Understanding the male need for emotional intimacy. So, what exactly is emotional intimacy? It's the ability to share your inner thoughts, fears, hopes, and dreams without fear of judgment. It's about being seen, heard, and valued, not just for what you do, but for who you are. Older men increasingly crave this kind of vulnerability, not because they're becoming weaker, but because they're becoming wiser. With age comes clarity. They've likely experienced relationships that were more transactional than transformational, and now they seek something deeper. They want someone who listens without interrupting, a partner who understands their emotional highs and lows, a safe space to express themselves authentically. This desire often remains unspoken, but it runs deep. And those who understand it are better equipped to build enduring, soulful relationships. Chapter 3: Why emotional intimacy grows in importance with age. There are several reasons emotional intimacy becomes more significant for older men. 1. Changing priorities. As retirement approaches or career goals are fulfilled, the hustle slows down. Without the constant grind, many men begin reflecting on emotional voids. The relationships that once took a back seat become central. 2. Facing mortality. With age comes an acute awareness of life's fragility. Health issues or the loss of peers can spark existential introspection. Emotional bonds offer comfort, reassurance, and a sense of purpose in the face of mortality. 3. Loneliness and social isolation. Many older men experience reduced social circles. Children grow up and move away, friends pass on, and careers wind down. Emotional intimacy helps combat the loneliness that can otherwise become overwhelming. 4. Desire for meaningful legacy. Men often want to leave behind more than just financial wealth. They want to be remembered for love, kindness, and emotional impact. Close, intimate relationships help fulfill that legacy. Chapter 4: Barriers to emotional intimacy in older men. Despite the yearning, emotional intimacy isn't always easy for older men to achieve. Decades of emotional suppression can create barriers. Some of the most common challenges include fear of vulnerability, unspoken trauma, or regrets, communication struggles, cultural or generational conditioning. To break through, it often requires patience, empathy, and the willingness to create emotionally safe environments. For many, it's a healing journey, a reclaiming of emotional wholeness. Chapter 5: How partners can support emotional openness. If you're in a relationship with an older man or care about someone navigating this emotional journey, here's how you can nurture that emotional bond. Practice deep listening. Listen without rushing to fix. Sometimes, just being heard is enough to create intimacy. Encourage honest dialogue. Ask meaningful questions, but don't pressure. Let them open up on their terms. Create a judgment-free zone. Support their feelings, even if they surprise you. Emotional safety fosters openness. Affirm their worth beyond roles. Remind them they're valued not just for what they provide, but for who they are. Be patient with the process. Unlearning emotional suppression can take time. Celebrate small moments of openness. Chapter 6: The Surprising Emotional Strength of Older Men. Here's a powerful truth. Emotional vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength. And older men, having weathered life's storms, often possess a quiet emotional resilience that's deeply inspiring. Their ability to reflect, to love fully, and to express vulnerability with depth and sincerity makes them incredible partners, mentors, and friends. When an older man opens his heart, it's not out of naivety, but wisdom. And that kind of emotional honesty, it's rare, beautiful, and worth cherishing. Chapter 7. Real stories, real emotions. Let's take a moment to share stories that reflect this shift. Story 1. Robert, 68. After retiring, Robert realized how distant he had become from his wife. He began initiating heart-to-heart conversations, opening up about fears he never shared before. Today, their bond is stronger than ever. Story 2. David, 72. A widower, David struggled with loneliness. He joined a local support group, where for the first time, he openly talked about grief. That space of emotional sharing gave him renewed purpose and friendships. Story 3. Carlos, 65. Carlos had never cried in front of anyone, not even at his mother's funeral. But after a major surgery, he told his daughter, "I'm scared." That single moment of vulnerability opened the door to a closer father-daughter relationship. These stories are not exceptions. They are quietly unfolding all around us. Chapter 8. Emotional intimacy and health. Benefits. Science backs this up too. Emotional intimacy has real, measurable benefits for older adults. Reduced risk of depression and anxiety, improved heart health, stronger immune system, greater cognitive resilience, increased longevity. Simply put, emotional closeness is not just good for the soul, it's good for the body and mind. Chapter 9. Final reflections. So the next time you see an older man, remember, beneath that calm, stoic surface lies a rich emotional world waiting to be seen, understood, and embraced. Emotional intimacy is not a phase or a fad. For older men, it is a rediscovery, a return to their true selves, free of masks and full of meaning. Whether you're an older man yourself or someone who loves one, know this: the desire for emotional closeness is universal, timeless, and deeply human. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We create thoughtful content on elder wellness, emotional health, relationships, and intimacy. Comment below. What's one thing you wish more people understood about emotional needs in older age?